Do we or don't we accept? It's a decision for life.
Suddenly Amish Season 1, Episode 8 recap and spoilers, A Day of Reckoning.
Do you want the Amish life or not?
Judah comes out, the English face the congregation, and everything changes.
I'm not willing to compromise my identity to be a part of a community who may not appreciate me.
After 7 episodes of sweat, sacrifice, self-examination, and the kind of slow, grinding personal transformation that cannot be faked or fast-tracked, Suddenly Amish finally arrives at the moment its entire premise has been pointing toward. Episode 8, titled A Day of Reckoning, airs Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, at 10 p.m. on TLC, and it is everything the title suggests, a day of truth, consequence, and irreversible clarity. The deliberating is over. The observing is finished. The time for careful hedging and quiet uncertainty has run out. Today, every English participant must stand before the Amish congregation and answer the question that has defined their entire journey. Do you stay or do you go? But before that question can even be fully asked, Judah appends the entire episode with a revelation that nobody saw coming. The season that led here. To fully appreciate the weight of what happens in Episode 8, it helps to understand just how much these participants have endured to arrive at this moment. They came from different backgrounds, different circumstances, and different reasons for wanting to explore a way of life so radically removed from everything they knew. They gave up their phones, their electricity, their climate-controlled homes, and the endless convenience of modern consumer culture. They learned to chop wood, make hygiene products by hand, cook over open fires, and navigate a community whose rhythms are dictated not by personal preference, but by faith, tradition, and a collective commitment to simplicity that stretches back centuries. Some of them struggled more visibly than others.
It's important that others will be accepted, that will make or break my decision.
Billie Jo pushed herself so hard that her body eventually gave out, landing her in a hospital with heat exhaustion just days before Reckoning Day. Aaron contended throughout the season with the ongoing challenge of his hearing aids, a piece of modern medical technology that sits uncomfortably against the Amish principle of separation from the outside world.
I'm just really nervous and I'm just feeling all the things right now.
Esmeralda approached the entire experience with a cool-headed pragmatism that made her one of the most genuinely unpredictable participants in the group, never quite showing her hand, never quite committing in either direction. And Judah weathered the emotional storm of his mother's arrival, stood firm against her desperate attempts to pull him home, and emerged from that confrontation more resolved than ever. Each of them has been changed by this experience. The question has always been whether the change goes deep enough and whether the community will agree. Judah comes out as bisexual. Nothing in the season prepares viewers for what Judah does in Episode 8. At the moment when most participants would be focused entirely on presenting their best case to the congregation, on demonstrating their commitment and their readiness, Judah chooses a different path entirely. He comes out as bisexual. It is a moment of extraordinary courage, and it is made all the more striking by its timing. Judah does not wait until after the vote. He does not calculate the odds and decide that disclosure would hurt his chances. He does not compartmentalize this part of himself and tuck it away for safekeeping until the community has already said yes. He brings his full, honest self into the room and lets the congregation receive it however they will. This decision is entirely consistent with the version of Judah that viewers have watched develop across the season. Here is a man who, when his mother arrived and begged him to come home, did not soften his position to spare her feelings. Here is a man who, when given the opportunity to take the easy path, has consistently chosen the harder, truer one. Coming out to an Amish congregation, a community whose faith is rooted in deeply traditional views on sexuality, marriage, and family, is not a strategic move. It is an act of personal integrity so committed that it borders on defiant. The significance of this moment extends far beyond Judah himself. It introduces into the show's central narrative attention that the Amish community is not historically equipped to navigate easily. Traditional Amish doctrine does not affirm same-sex attraction or bisexuality. The community's understanding of marriage, family, and gender roles is rooted in a biblical framework that has remained largely unchanged for generations. Judah's disclosure does not just complicate his own path to acceptance, it challenges the community to grapple with a question that sits at the very edge of what their faith has traditionally been willing to engage. Whether the congregation responds with grace, with firmness, or with something more complicated than either, the moment itself is undeniable. Judah came here looking for something real. He found it. And on the day that matters most, he refused to be anything less than exactly who he is, standing before the congregation. For all of the participants, Reckoning Day means one thing above all else: standing before the Amish congregation as a body and submitting to their collective judgment. This is a deeply foreign experience for people shaped by a culture that places individual autonomy at the center of nearly every important decision. In the English world, you choose your faith, your community, and your identity. You opt in and opt out on your own terms. The idea of presenting yourself to a group of people and waiting for them to decide whether you belong, whether you are acceptable, whether your presence is welcome runs against almost everything modern Western culture teaches about selfhood and agency. But this is how the Amish community works. And for the English participants who have spent weeks inside it, experiencing it firsthand has been one of the most consistently humbling aspects of the entire journey. The congregation is not a formality. It is the community expressing itself as a unified body, and its decision carries the full moral and spiritual weight of that unity. For Billie Joe, standing before the congregation means doing so while still recovering from a health crisis that raised real questions about her physical capacity to sustain this life. She has always wanted this. She has said so throughout the season, and there is no reason to doubt her sincerity. But wanting something and being able to endure it are two different things, and Billie Joe knows better than anyone in the group that her body has already issued one clear warning. Whatever she decides, she makes the decision with full awareness of what it may cost her physically. For Esmeralda, the congregation moment is the end of a long internal deliberation that has been one of the season's most quietly compelling storylines. She has never been dramatic about her uncertainty. She has not agonized publicly or swung between extremes. She has simply thought, observed, and waited until she knew. Whether that knowing has led her toward the community or away from it, she arrives at this moment having done the work honestly.
My life completely changes after today. If yes, I'm Amish forever.
For Aaron, the path to this moment has run directly through his hearing aids and everything they represent. His disability is real, his need for assistive technology is legitimate, and the question of how the Amish community accommodates or fails to accommodate that need is one that has no clean or easy answer.
A conversation with the bishop was flagged as necessary before Reckoning Day could proceed. And that conversation carries implications not just for Aaron's decision, but for the community's willingness to make space for someone whose needs fall outside its traditional framework. Alan's role and the weight of advocacy. Throughout the season, Alan has served as the bridge between the English participants and the Amish community, a guide, an observer, and ultimately an advocate. His offer to speak on behalf of the participants before the congregation is not a small thing. In a community where trust is built slowly and reputation matters enormously, having Alan in your corner provides a meaningful degree of credibility that the English participants could not earn entirely on their own in the time they have had. But Alan has also been honest about his frustrations. He has not been universally satisfied with what the group has demonstrated. He has watched some of them struggle, some of them resist, and some of them surprise him. His advocacy is not a blanket endorsement. It is a nuanced, carefully considered act that reflects his genuine assessment of each individual's readiness. The tension that has emerged between Alan, Judah, and James in the closing episodes of the season adds another layer of complexity to Reckoning Day. Whatever disagreement exists between them, it plays out against the backdrop of a decision that affects everyone. Whatever personal friction has developed, it must be set aside, or at least managed, in the face of something larger. What this episode means.
Jesus said, "He who lays his hand to the plow and looks back is not worthy of his kingdom."
A Day of Reckoning is not just a season finale in the conventional television sense. It is the honest, unscripted conclusion of a genuine human experiment. People came here with hopes, fears, and questions about themselves that they could not answer in the comfort of their ordinary lives. They submitted themselves to a community, a tradition, and a way of being in the world that asked more of them than they may have fully anticipated. And now, on this one day, they find out whether any of it was enough. Judah's coming out ensures that this finale will be remembered long after the season ends. It is the kind of moment that transcends the reality television format entirely. A real person, in a real community, telling a real truth at the most consequential possible moment.
Next time on Suddenly Amish.
Whatever happens next, that moment belongs to him. He earned it. Suddenly Amish Season 1, Episode 8, A Day of Reckoning, airs Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026.